This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Schaller.
Welcome, good neighbors, to episode number 158 of the Good Neighbor Podcast, Astero. Today we have good neighbor Kelly Thompson from Achieva Credit Union. Welcome.
Thank you, Jim, for having me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to get to know people here in the community and what they do. So let's jump right in, and why don't you share a little bit about what you do over at Achieva?
Thank you. So I am the Senior Credit Commercial Officer for Achieva in Southwest Florida. I've been serving our community since 2008 in Southwest Florida, business, commercial, and everything beyond that. As a former business owner myself from Buffalo, New York, I've really enjoyed the last 17 years that I've had to once again serve our business community here.
Absolutely. Well, let's back up your story a little bit. How did you get involved in this industry?
Well, that's a whole big story. So, kind of rewind back to 2008 when the market was crashing. I was working for an organization up in Buffalo, New York, which is where our family's, born and raised, and had an opportunity to come down here. Unfortunately, for many people here, that market crash happened. The housing crash happened. So I found myself without, a home, without a job. And I looked to banking and was fortunate enough to pick that up from a referral source that said, hey, come with us. I know that this is a tough time for everybody in the economy. We want you to help save our business owners, not work them out during one of the worst economic things endured down here. And that's how it started back in 2008.
By helping businesses, and that's a great way to look at that. Are there any I'd say we've all had a challenge or obstacle along our journey. Obviously, going through the market crash was a big challenge. But since then, has there been anything, there's been a lot of things that have happened down here in Southwest Florida, maybe you can look back at now and it helped define or put you where you are today?
Absolutely. So if I were not given that chance, when I looked around the room in 2008, and there was many people that have my same qualifications, I'm financially trained, underwriting, as well as business ownership. That gave me a better outlook on how we need to serve our community. You fast forward to today, we've gone through COVID. Some of our businesses survived, some of them did not. My job and my mission at that point was to serve this community and keep everyone we could afloat so they could continue their business and legacy. Then beyond that, we're coming out of that downturn, and then we're getting into, again, a situation of economic inflation and supply chain issues. So it's been a challenge every year, but it's our job, it's my job to understand what's going on in our community and globally to make sure that we keep everyone in this community surviving, stable, prospering for our next generation.
Absolutely. It's making sure that the community is strong, with its businesses and residents as well. So are there any myths or maybe misconceptions surrounding what you do that we could clear up for our listeners?
So I think a big one is credit unions at whole. So I've been with all big banks in the past, and they've been wonderful. But going to a credit union was my choice because a credit union truly serves our community. We are a not-for-profit, which means that we serve community above all else. Our shareholders are not paid. They are volunteers, so we do not have to answer to that. And that's one of the big misconceptions, is that we have top quality people here in the area. We are growing the area. We're actually putting up 2 new buildings and financial centers down in Naples right now. But we're here for the community. We have great rates, and you can join. You don't have to be, it started as a teachers union back in 1937, and you can join as a member of the community. Once again, great rates, great service, personal service, and we do have a lot to offer the community. So I think that's a big misconception that everybody cannot join.
Absolutely. And and actually providing customer service is is something that's not so prevalent today anymore. So did you see anything, I'm going to say, trending within the industry or changing recently?
So, I've been doing this, I hate to date myself, but for almost 20 years now, I've been in this industry. Once again, business owners, commercial, that's my passion. So what I'm seeing is, we've got an ebb and flow of usually every 7 years in economic trends. COVID threw that out the window. Elections throw that out the window. So our rate environment has been all over the board. And that's one of the big issues that we're having here is how do you continue your business, your livelihood, your legacy, whether you're small business, mid, or large, and survive in this environment. And I can tell you, with the right person and the right trusted advisors, there are many possible ways that are going to fit your personal situation that can not only get you through it, but flourish and be very flexible. So,
Customizing that solution to every situation, because every situation is a little bit different.
yeah, one size does not fit all.
No, no, not anymore, anyways. So you mentioned you were from New York originally. What actually brought you down here to Southwest Florida?
If any of our listeners have been to Buffalo, New York, you kind of understand. It's my family goes back a long time, and my husband as well. So we met at University of Buffalo, but it's a beautiful community, but it's very cold.
Yep.
So as younger, we had gotten married while we were in college, married almost 20 years at this point. We decided after his family had come here to just look at greener pastures, look at warm weather. And that was in 2008. And I have never looked back. There
I
is
know.
no better community of people, businesses, and quality of life that you can find here in Southwest Florida.
Absolutely. I'm from the Midwest originally, so I understand the cold. I do not like cold weather, and I, jokingly blame my parents for not being born down here, but I'm
We
down here
visited,
now.
I love the people that live there. We
Right.
visited at this point, but yeah, this is where my kids were born. This is community that we
There we
are.
go. Yeah, we
So,
visit in the summertime. That's when we go up.
absolutely. I'll be back there in June for a wedding. My
There we
niece's
go.
wedding. So,
So outside of work, I know you probably don't have a lot of free time with the family and everything, but what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
so that's I love personally. I love to cook. That's a big passion of mine. It's always been just a wonderful thing. But I have been blessed with a beautiful 12-year-old daughter and now 9-year-old son that play baseball and softball. So literally every night of the week we are there, and we have found an amazing community of people here that support families that are just great to be with, out there active in the community, making connections, but being great for the kids. So that is my first love that I never knew I had.
Right?
So grateful that I found.
I
So,
love that. I love that. So, what is one thing you wish our listeners knew about Achieva Credit Union that maybe they don't know?
so I think once again the misconception is that we are not you have to be a certain thing to or person to join. That's not the truth. And we may not have enough funds or whatever for the community. That's also not true. Our mission is to, once again, starting as a teachers union back in 1937, is to serve the community. But you do get, once again, top rates, top service, personal service that I believe the community just, and also those same services that are top notch, we can rival any big or mid-sized bank out there. But also, we know your name. We know your family. We know what your goals are. And that's a big difference.
Yes, you're treated as a person, not a number. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So how would our listeners go about getting a hold of you if they wanted to join?
So I am very happy to provide my personal information because, this is the community that I love, and you can contact me personally, whether it's personal, business, anything that I can get you in the right direction. I know our team. I love our team, and I know the right person after I have a conversation to get you to. Once again, one size does not fit all. And I want to make sure every request is being, served properly.
Perfect. Perfect. So do you have a number they can reach you at?
I do. It is 239
Mhm.
989 1836.
Perfect. Perfect. Any last words for our listeners?
No, I appreciate the time here today. This is a community that we have invested a lot because we love the community. We know the community. We want to serve it better. So if you do have questions, let me know. Reach out, email, call, text. I'm always available. And if I don't know the answer, I will get you the right person who does.
Perfect. Kelly, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for being such a good neighbor, and I hope to see you out in the community soon.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Astero. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpastero.com. That's gnpastero.com or call 239-296-2621.